Hey, we are here at WPP Stream in Ojai, California, and I'm with Pete Beeney from Spotify, who leads the WPP relationship globally. I wanted to ask straight away, what are the main talking points you're hearing about in the general huddle groups and discussion groups around here? For me, it's been fake news. It's kind of come to the top with the election and everything, but I'd love to hear your perspective on what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. Fake news has been a pretty big concentration of a lot of the conversation, both in the sessions and outside of the sessions, and the impact that it's had in terms of the most recent election, and people's concerns really for what a filter bubble might do in these circumstances. That's been a big element. Other sessions have really focused a lot on. I've seen a lot of conversations about personalization.
Yeah.
And how do brands use their data to better personalize and make better and message to their customers in a more effective fashion.
A lot of the follow-ups to a lot of that has been conversational commerce, right? So like having bots integrate into messaging apps and answering customer service requests that way. That's something I've been hearing that.
Yeah, and I've also thought that there's been a lot of conversation about the sharing economy.
Yeah.
So there were 2 sessions that I took part in that really focused very much on the sharing economy and what it means, and access over ownership, which obviously is a key tenet to our own business model. So we've been able to take part in some really interesting conversations around that. And then AI has been an all-pervasive theme.
AI and virtual reality everywhere is the future, basically.
And some and some interesting conversations about AI that almost bleed into semi-religious discussions. It's been incredibly thought-provoking. All of the sessions so far.
Good. Well, the reason I wanted to grab Pete in particular is because WPP just struck a partnership with Spotify through the WPP's Data Alliance group. I wanted to hear from your perspective really what that means for 2017, both for Spotify but also for WPP agencies.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, we're very much committed to understanding people's behavior and understanding consumers through their music listening behaviors. And, we're very much committed as part of this deal with WPP to help WPP businesses better understand consumer segments through music behavior. Because there's a lot of contextual reference points in the way that people listen to music, what they're using music to soundtrack, which could have very big benefits to creative planning, to the way that that brands create messages, the way they use music in their creativity.
So is it a case of if I'm in the gym on the treadmill, through this relationship I will hear upbeat pop dance music, but if I'm meditating I'll hear different types of music? Is that how the targeting is going to work?
It's not so much about targeting per se. I mean, we can target. We're thinking about it in the reverse function, which would be, let's say you're a sports brand.
Yeah.
And you need to know what is the sonic signatures of your key segments when they're running. Because we're very unique. Well, music streaming services in particular are very unique in that music is a complementary behavior.
Yeah.
So where other platforms can't be present, like on a run, we can be present, and we can give a pretty strong insight into what is the music that soundtracks that behavior. What are the common themes that we see in running, shall we say?
Yeah.
And that will then allow a brand to make much more competent decisions when it comes to how they are able to speak to the person in that moment, and what that means in some cases for some of their other communications.
Good. Final question, what's the one album or song on Spotify that everyone should download for next year?
It's very tough to get away from the new Tribe Called Quest album, which is phenomenal.
Good.
So that's where I'm putting my stake.
I'm partial to the new Bruno Mars album, but hey, who am I? Thank you very much.
No problem.
Good chat to you.
Pleasure.